Rumpelstiltskin.
In a faraway land, there was a beautiful wood by which ran a stream, and close to the stream was a mill. The owner of the mill lived nearby with his beautiful and clever daughter.
Oh, daughter, I am so tired of leading a poor man's life. I wish we could also be rich and have every comfort in the world.
Just then, the king of the country came passing by on a hunting trip.
The king has come to our woods. I can't believe it. I have to try and meet him. Yes, this is a fine opportunity for me to impress the king.
The miller made his way to where the king was. Bowing before the king, the miller said,
Your Majesty, I am indeed honored to meet you. Won't you please come this way? I would like you to meet my beautiful and talented daughter.
Really? What special talent does your daughter have that I would want to meet her?
Oh yes, Your Majesty, my daughter can spin gold from straw.
Now the king was a very wealthy man, but he was also greedy, and the thought of making gold from straw obviously tempted him.
Really? This I have to see. Bring your daughter to the palace this evening.
The miller went home to tell his daughter that the king wanted them to present themselves to the palace that evening, and both of them soon left for the palace. Arriving at the palace, the miller and his daughter were quickly ushered in to meet the king. The king was pleased to meet the miller and his daughter and said,
Your daughter is indeed beautiful, and now we will see how she spins straw into gold.
So saying, the king led the daughter to a room in the palace where there was a spinning wheel and a large pile of straw.
Now set to work and show us your talent. All this straw must be spun into gold by morning, if you love your life.
The daughter tried to plead with the king that it was just an empty boast that her father had made, but all in vain, as the king did not listen and locked the room and went away.
Oh, woe my fate! What has my father done? How am I going to do this impossible task?
Just then, a funny-looking old man hobbled into the room.
Now, pretty lass, why do you weep so?
Oh, sir, I must spin all this straw into gold by morning, or the king will kill me. I just don't know what to do.
If I spin this straw into gold, what will you give me?
Can you really help me, sir? Oh, I will be so grateful. Let me see. Here, I will give you my necklace.
Okay, lassie. Now stop crying and go sit down and let me work.
The funny old man sat himself at the spinning wheel.
Whir, spinning wheel. Do as you are told. All the straw in this room spin into fine gold.
What an amazing sight it was! As the miller's daughter watched in surprise, the pile of straw was soon turned into gold. The old man got up and turned to leave.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you, sir. I don't know what I would have done without your help. Here is my necklace.
At daybreak, the king came into the room, and lo and behold, the sight that met his eyes made them glitter and shine.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Now I know you are truly talented.
However, the king's greed became even more, and he planned to have the miller's daughter spend even more gold the next day.
Tonight, my dear, you will again spin all the straw in the room to gold before sunrise. I am sure you can do it once more.
The miller's daughter again sat down in dismay, not knowing what to do, when the same old funny man appeared again.
Aha! So you have to spin more gold tonight, I see.
Oh, sir, please help me again.
And what will I get in return?
Sir, I only have this ring left. I will gladly give it to you if you help me.
All right, I shall help you again in return for the ring.
And so the old man sat down again at the spinning wheel.
Whir, spinning wheel, do as you are told. All the straw in this room spin into fine gold.
Once again, all the straw turned into gold, and the old man picked up the ring and left. The next morning, when the king entered the room and saw the gold, he thought to himself,
She may be just a miller's daughter, but she is beautiful and can give me all the gold that I desire.
The king walked up to the miller's daughter, held her hands, and told her,
My dear, I am very impressed with your beauty and talent. Tonight you will be given even more straw to spin. And if you can turn it into gold again, you shall be my queen.
So once again, that night, the miller's daughter was locked in a room filled with straw. Soon the old man came visiting again.
Another room full of straw to spin. So what are you going to give me today to spin this into gold?
Oh, sir, I have nothing more to give you, but the king has said that if I spin all this straw into gold tonight, he will make me his queen. Then I can give you all that you desire.
The old man kept thinking for some time, and finally told the miller's daughter,
I have no desire for any wealth, but you must promise me that you will give me your firstborn child.
The miller's daughter looked at the old man in amazement, but she was so desperate and didn't know what else to do. So she made the promise to the old man. He again sat at the spinning wheel.
Whir, spinning wheel, do as you are told. All the straw in this room spin into fine gold.
Next morning, the king entered the room, and his eyes shone when he saw all the gold.
My dear, as I said, I will now marry you and make you my queen. Let there be rejoicing in the kingdom to welcome the new queen.
The king and queen lived happily for many years and were blessed with a baby boy. However, by now, the queen had forgotten her promise to the funny old man who had helped her, until he came to visit her one day when she was playing with her precious child.
I hope you remember me and the promise you made to me, O queen.
The queen was shocked and dismayed on seeing the old man, and could not even think of parting with her bundle of joy, and cried and begged before the old man.
Oh, sir, please do not be so cruel. Do not take away my baby from me. I will give you anything you want. Gold, precious stones, land.
I have no use for these things.
I beg you, sir, please take pity on me. My baby is so small.
The queen's tears finally moved the old man, and he said to her,
Oh, well, I give you 3 days, and if in these 3 days you guess my name, you can keep your baby.
The fear of losing her child kept the queen awake all night, and she wrote down all the strange names that she had ever heard of. The next day, the old man came and asked her his name.
Is your name Benjamin? Timothy? Jeremy?
The queen said all the names that she could think of, but the old man said that was not his name.
You have tried, but what my name is, a guess you could not make. You have 2 days more, then your baby I will take.
So saying, the old man went away.
I have to somehow guess what the old man's name is. I cannot even think of giving my baby away. Oh, what shall I do?
The next day, The queen dispatched messengers across the kingdom to find out all the possible strange names. However, when the old man came, though she repeated all the names the messengers had given her, she could not guess the old man's name. She was now extremely worried and desperate. She once again sent the messengers and told them to visit the most remote corners of the kingdom to find any strange names they could. The messengers came back with no new names, but one messenger told the queen that he wished to have a word with her.
Your Majesty, I could not find any new names, but I saw a strange sight today. As I was climbing down a hill, I entered a forest, and amongst the tall trees was a small cottage. There was a fire burning outside and a strange figure dancing around it and singing. Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, and after that, the child I'll take. Never can the queen guess that Rumpelstiltskin is my name.
The queen was overjoyed and rewarded the messenger with gold and precious jewels.
Now I'll see how he will take my baby, the funny old man.
The next day, all the courtiers gathered around the queen where she sat on her throne, and the nurse stood beside her with the baby in her arms when the old man arrived.
Oh, sir, I have been thinking and thinking of what your name could be. Is it Tom? Is it Jemmy?
The queen kept on saying names, and each time the old man kept shaking his head, his smile growing wider and wider.
I can't think of any more names. Wait a minute. Could your name be Rumpelstiltskin?
The old man was outraged on hearing this.
You could not have guessed my name. Some witch has told you. Some witch has told you.
So angry was he that he stamped his right foot with so much force that it sank into the floor. He forcefully pulled it out with both hands and made his way out amidst the jeering of all the courtiers. The queen was finally relieved and lived happily ever after with the king and her baby.
Hansel and Gretel. In a little house in the woods near a quiet little meadow lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and 2 children, Hansel, the boy, and Gretel, the girl. However, land was hit by famine, and the woodcutter faced great difficulty and misery.
We are back to facing hard times again, dear husband. There is no food, just one last loaf left in the kitchen. How are we going to feed the children and keep ourselves alive too? It is a hard decision, but if the children do not go, we will all die.
Woodcutter's wife tried convincing Woodcutter that they would need to leave their children in the forest, like how they did last time.
Oh, please do not make me go through this misery again. It is a very difficult choice for me. Even if there is little, we should share the last of the food with our children. They are so small. What will they do if we leave them?
I do not want to hear any more about this. The children have to go, and that is final. No begging or pleading is going to make me change my mind.
In the next room, the children lay wide awake, overhearing their parents talk. Once again, they found themselves in the same pitiful situation. Hansel got out of his bed to pick up pebbles from the yard like last time. But this time their mother had locked the door from outside. But nonetheless, he reassured his little sister.
Don't you worry, Gretel. We will find our way back like we did the last time.
The next morning, their stepmother gave them a piece of bread each, and they all started to walk together towards forest. Hansel crumbled his piece of bread inside his coat pocket and kept dropping the morsels along the way until they reached the forest.
Children, stay here till we come back. Lie down when you get tired and eat the bread when you get hungry. We will come to fetch you in the evening. And no matter what, always remember that I love you.
Now, stop all this. They are old enough to know they have to lie down when they are tired and have to eat when they are hungry. Stop wasting time and let's go catch the wood.
The children fell asleep, and evening came and went. They woke up late at night to find themselves alone, left behind by their parents yet again, and a rude shock. All the crumbs had vanished.
Oh, Hansel, where have all the morsels of bread vanished?
How could I have been so silly? How did I forget that the birds and insects would eat away the breadcrumbs? Now, Gretel, don't cry. You wait and watch. I will somehow find our way back home.
The poor little children walked all day through the forest, but alas, they couldn't find their way out. Suddenly they both heard the sound of a beautiful bird perched on a tree, singing so beautifully that they stood entranced.
Oh, what a beautiful bird, and how beautifully it sings. Oh, Hansel, look, it is flying away. Come on, let's follow it.
The beautiful bird flew deeper and deeper into the forest, and Hansel and Gretel kept following it until it finally landed on the roof of a beautiful house.
Hey, Gretel, look! This house is made of bread and cake, and the windows are made of sugar. Oh, wow! I am going to take a bite of the roof, and you, Gretel, can have a piece of the window.
Hansel, this is so sweet. I just love it.
And so the two children heartily ate cake, bread and sugar after days of starving. Suddenly, the door opened, and an old and scary-looking woman crept quietly.
Oh, such dear children. Who are you? And who has brought you here? You look so tired and hungry. Come in, don't be afraid. Eat all you want and then rest. You're welcome to stay with me. No harm shall come to you here. Come, let me show you where you will be sleeping.
The witch led them into a room with pretty windows, little bed covered with beautiful linen.
Oh, Hansel, is this all real? I can't believe it. Are these our beds? I've never seen such pretty sheets and pillows. Ooh, this feels like heaven.
The old woman was actually a wicked witch. The house of bread, cake and sugar was made to lure little children. The witch only pretended to be nice to children. But once they came in, she killed them, cooked them and ate them.
It is morning. Let me see what my prisoners are doing. Ooh, I can't wait to cook them. Look at those rosy cheeks. What a delicious soup I will make of them.
She pulled Hansel out of bed, dragged him by his hand and locked him in a cage. She then went inside to wake Gretel up.
Get up, you lazy girl. Go draw water. I want you to heat some water. I'm going to eat your brother now.
The poor little girl was terrified. She sobbed and cried, but the cruel witch showed no mercy. Gretel did what the witch had told her to. She hung a huge cauldron of water and lit the fire. But the evil witch had other horrible plans.
Come here, girl. I have kneaded the dough and heated the oven to bake the bread. Go creep into the oven and check if it is heated enough for the baking.
The witch pushed Gretel towards the hot oven. She wanted to lock her in once she was inside, so she could bake her and eat her too. However, Gretel was a very smart and clever girl, and immediately guessed what the witch was planning to do.
Oh, I am so sorry for being so thoughtless. The door of the oven seems so small. How will I get in?
You silly child. The door is big enough for me to get in. Then why can't you? Look, this is how you go inside.
The witch put her head into the oven, and this was the moment Gretel was waiting for. Acting swiftly, she pushed with all her might, shut the heavy iron door and fastened the bolt before the witch could get out. The witch began to howl and screech in anger and pain, and was finally burnt to death. Gretel ran up to the cage and unbolted the door.
Hansel, Hansel, the mean witch is dead. We are safe now.
Come, Gretel, we must be off now. We have to find our way out of the forest so that we can go home.
While they were walking out, they looked at a small room from where pearls and precious stones were overflowing.
Come, Gretel, pick up as many stones as will fit in your pinafore. I too will fill my pockets. I am sure the witch would have stolen these, and now that she is dead, there is no one to claim them.
Both the children picked up as many precious stones as they could and started to make their way out of the forest. After they had walked for a few hours, they reached a stream of water. They saw a beautiful duck there and requested her to cross the stream. The good duck came to them and helped them cross the stream. They thanked the duck and started walking away from the stream, out of the forest. After a few minutes of walking, Hansel noticed a house at the distance.
Oh, look, Gretel! Do you see our house there where the sun is shining on the roof?
The children were overjoyed and ran towards their father, hopping and skipping all the way. Their father was waiting for them with outstretched arms, tears streaming down his face.
Oh, how blessed I am. I never thought I would ever see my beloved children ever again. You know, my dears, I have been so miserable and sorry ever since I left you alone in the forest. I know I was a weak man. I should not have listened to your stepmother. Now she is dead and gone, and I have been to the forest many times looking for you both.
Don't be sad, Father. We know why you did what you did, and we still love you as much as ever. And now we have a big surprise for you.
Hansel and Gretel emptied their pockets, and all the jewels fell onto the wooden floor. One fistful after another, the children made a little heap of precious stones and jewels and pearls.
Oh my God, where did you get all this? I hope you didn't do anything wrong.
Not at all, Father. We would never do anything that would make you ashamed of us. It is a long story. We will tell you later.
That was the moment their days of misery were over. They had enough to feed themselves and help others in the village too. The day the brave and kind children, Hansel and Gretel, returned home, they brought with them joy, prosperity and peace to their entire village, and lived happily ever after with their father.